Hi, welcome to my allotment update. It's early winter, we've been doing lots of clearing. I'll show you what we've been doing. So the first job that I decided to do was to weed this bed. I've moved my fuchsias and I've moved a couple of baby lavender plants and they're in the polytunnel. So I weeded this bed and mulched it. And I also moved the sea holly, and it's in a pot now to give everything else a little bit more room because it was really crowding out. I didn't realise just how massive it was going to get. And I put my little buddleia in there because I really want a buddleia here with my purples of my lavender and my pinks of my yarrow and my pale lilac of my mallow and this lovely purple hyssop. So this is my purple and pinks bed. And not forgetting the wonderful catnip, which the cats have been absolutely loving and coming on my plot, and once they've had a good munch and roll about in the catnip, they've been in the hunting mood, so that's been really good. It really seems to have kept the rats down on my plot. I'm doing everything I can to keep the rats down. The last thing I need to do is to try and get a proper wormery, which will be rat proof, and then I can start bringing my compost down again. That's been really upsetting me, not being able to bring my compost down, but I wasn't able to do it safely without attracting rats. Right, so, and this is all, oh, the aubratia, that's purple as well, and this penstemon, that's gorgeous purpley pink, and there's a nice contrast here with the chamomile, and I'm hoping that will come back and it will have seeded all over my plot. That will make me very happy because I love chamomile. It's a really good medicine as well. This bed here, I've weeded and mulched, and I've gone all the way back into the hedge and mulched all the way and weeded there the perennial weeds that were coming through the hedge all the time, like brambles and massive nettle plants that were crowding everything out. So what I've done with everything I've taken away from here, I'm not sure you can see, but in the lane I've been piling up really close to my hedge to make a sort of new habitat. I've been piling up old logs and hedge cuttings, and now I've added whatever I've taken out of here, all the green and brown compost from here, or what was growing here and not growing here. I've put it along there to create a new habitat. It's not encroaching on the path. I've pushed it really close to my hedge, and I think that'll be a really cool wildlife habitat as well. So I've mulched all the way back here, and I put another little buddleia in here because I need something tall in this area here. Still don't know what that mysterious plant is. My astrantia, hopefully it'll come back even stronger in the spring because it's absolutely gorgeous. And my lungwort, that comes one of the first flowers in early spring. That's lovely to see. My lady's mantle, that's a gorgeous flower as well when it gets established. Gorgeous white, creamy white sprays. So in here, I've got my snapdragon, my antirrhinum. I've left these self-seeded forget-me-nots because they're very early. They come early in the spring, which is wonderful. And I have lots and lots of foxgloves. Foxgloves and antirrhinums mainly along here. That comes from a wild seed packet, and obviously they're biannual, so next year I'll have a great display of foxgloves and other seeds, hopefully as well, other wildflower seeds will come back. So this is how it looks from here, from the far corner. Let me show you what's happening in the polytunnel. So these are all the little plants I've rescued from outside, which I want to keep for next year, which might not survive our cold, damp winter in this plot. So my fuchsias, and I've got a couple of little lavenders that I took from cuttings in the spring. They're coming along. I've got a couple of lettuce and bitter salad leaf there, which I'll probably put out when they've I don't know, maybe I might keep them in here actually, I'm not sure, I'll ask the friend who gave it to me. So there's more lavenders here, just in case I lose some lavenders. I've got some spinach coming up there, which I'll put outside when it's a bit more established. And a little rosemary, because I lost my rosemary, which really upset me because it was so damp and cold. So these are the fuchsias that I took out that bed that were struggling, and they've got new life on them. So I'm hopeful that I'll have some lovely big fuchsia plants to either give away or plant in the spring. I want to show you behind this door. This is really spectacular. This fuchsia here, which has always been in the pots, but I brought it into the polytunnel probably 2 months ago, and it's absolutely loving it. Look at that, flowering away. There's not really much to pollinate, but it's nice to have things for late pollinators. Over here, my purple sprouting broccoli is coming on well. There's these little tiny snails that really seem to be hitting my brassicas, but I do try and look for them and chuck them away from my plot into the path so that they can find another home. So that's all that's happening here at the moment. I've been cropping all these leaves because they're really good for you, all edible. So let's show you the main work we've been doing. Me and my friends have been, well, my friend John has done a wildlife conservation course, and he's taken his bow saw to this really old hedge which was over 1 metre wide, and incredibly difficult to cut because my neighbours didn't cut it for years and years, so it was really overcrowding my plot. And also I think there's harbouring lots of diseases and all sorts of stuff in there that you don't want near your crops, and lots of dead wood as well, which is no good. So we've managed to take out all the fence. All the fence is gone now, which is immensely pleasing because it wasn't doing the hedge any good, it wasn't doing wildlife any good. It's finally gone, which means that we could properly tackle this hedge. So our next job along here is to take it down probably about 2 foot, so that when it starts growing, strongly in the spring, I'll take it down to about 1 foot, which will make it much easier. I'll take it 2 foot down to what I want it to grow, 2 foot lower, so that means in the spring, if I take it down to 2 foot above where we've cut it, it should be a lovely dense hedge, and I might put shapes in it, like a wavy shape, but I would like to talk to my neighbours, but I've not seen them before I do that, because that'll be really fun to do. Pond is gone to sleep. Pond's gone to sleep. I trimmed my lawn yesterday, so that there's a bit of lawn in there. Those are bits of green, but there's plenty of other. My marsh marigold, all these pond plants are going to be doing great. It's very clear. I'm not sure you can see how clear it is. Wonderfully clear. So the only other changes I'm going to be making are to replace these boards on these raised beds with scaffolding boards, double height scaffolding boards. Keep the same orientation and the same size, just to keep it simple. And these 2 boxes, I think I'll be using, I will be using the compost in my new raised beds, because they'll be a lot taller, and I'll be hopefully giving these boxes to a friend. And along here I want to grow a slow growing climbing rose. I've chosen one already, but they're quite expensive and I haven't got any money, so I'm just going to have to save up for that. Obviously I want to try and do it in the winter when it's bare rooted, so I can get going in the spring. My jasmine's going to be fantastic because it's going to have loads more space and lots more light with these boxes gone. So let me show you here. So we've taken down the elder tree and I'm hoping it'll sprout again, because I do really love it, but it was just getting way too big and really old. So it needs some new generation along with the hedge. So you can see what he's been doing here, cutting it all out. So I've gained about 1.5 foot onto my plot, because obviously the hedge grows towards the sun, so it was just lumping into my allotment. Over the last 30 or 40 years, nobody's really tackled the width properly or the height. So it feels really good to be doing that, and we're going to be taking down the other 2 hedges, probably by about 2 foot as well. It'll just make it a lot easier for me to keep them tidy. It'll get a lot more light onto my plot. And also the frost, we're in a bit of a frost pocket. I'm hoping the frost will move away from my plot more quickly and not just sink here between all the hedges. So I'm trying to improve the growing conditions on my plot. And this bit here that I'm standing on is going to be a lawn, and I need to trim this cherry tree, and I need to trim the plum tree as well. You can see it's really tall there. But I need to get some advice on how to do that. Unbelievably, my Cape gooseberries were probably ripening up to about 2 weeks ago. They've kind of they're not really ripening now, but the plants are still going, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm not going to rush to take them out because the scaffolding boards are going to be expensive, and I'll probably just have to wait again to try and save up for some scaffolding boards. So there's no massive rush. As long as I get this done for the spring, I'm happy. So if you've got limited time or energy or resources, it's a good idea to just try and lay out a timeline and work slowly towards it, because you can't just, well, I haven't got a car, you can't just go to the shops and buy everything. But yeah, it kind of helps me be creative, but it is also frustrating, to be honest. So along here, I'm going to be moving the water butt and the that kind of weed mulchy stuff in there to along this fence here. It'll help keep the fence up, it'll help keep the rats out, and also it means that my honeysuckle can probably grow all the way up to there, because it needs a bit more light and sunshine. And it'll also give my horseradish and sorrel a lot more room, so I'll just have that all horseradish sorrel in the front and then the honeysuckle coming up the back. And I'll extend the pole and make sure that the guttering goes into the water butt. So that's going to be my plan. So I've tried to keep things to what's actually doable and possible. I mean, there's obviously lots of other things I'd like to do on here, but I'm really happy with my progress. It has been a difficult growing year. I've had quite a lot of injuries, all sorts of health things, so I'm glad with what I've done, and it's good to look back at the year and just reflect on it and make plans for next year. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has inspired you to enjoy nature, appreciate nature, and just get out or watch it on YouTube, or however you like to consume nature. So thank you so much for watching. Ta-ra.